By the way, after Tyron Woodley's loss to Gilbert Burns on May 30th, a couple days after that fight, he did an interview, I think it was with ESPN, and he said that he had already agreed to his next fight and that it was with you. Did that ever get brought to your attention?
Never got brought to my attention. Tyron Woodley doing what he does best. The CNN of the UFC, the fake news media, Tyron Woodley doing what he does best, lying. How could he be offered a fight when he has stitches in his head and he's not medically cleared for like 30 to 60 days? I mean, anybody that believes that guy anymore, he's just latching on, clout chasing, looking for any hype, any heat he can get. And he knows the only thing that's going to keep him relevant is if he talks about daddy.
Is that fight still on your radar at all, or is that ship sailed at this point?
That ship sailed. There's nothing to prove there. The guy's literally a bum. He's lost 2 fights in a row. I called it from the start. I knew what was going to happen. He can't beat anybody on the UFC welterweight roster right now. The guy's cashed out, over the hill. He needs to retire. That's the only thing that should be on his agenda right now.
First off, congratulations on KAMARU USMAN, Jorge Masvidal, man. That all came together very, very quick. I got to ask, how did you manage to put it together so fast?
Thanks. It's like the Gaethje, Tony Ferguson fight. Gaethje saw the opportunity and took it. It was brilliant of Masvidal to slide in after, Gilbert Burns tested positive. Gilbert Burns is the #1 ranked guy in the world. It was a great fight, fell out. The fight that the people want to see, the people's fight, is this fight. And it was absolutely brilliant of Masvidal to slide into the spot and take the fight. So
it went so fast. Like there weren't any hangups with money. Everybody was cool with.
Yeah, this is what we do, man. We've been doing this for 20 years.
Yeah.
It's all part of the deal.
All right, so the big question, KAMARU Usman, he's the welterweight champ. He's bringing the belt. Jorge is the BMF champion. He's got the belt. Is the BMF belt on the line?
It is not. It's
Okay.
not on the line. Usman wants it to be on the line so bad. He will not stop texting me saying, I don't understand why this belt isn't on the line. This guy's running around saying he's the BMF champ. He's like, I want to squash it all. He's not going to win my title, and I'm going to take his BMF belt. Believe me, Usman has not stopped terrorizing me about this.
Yeah. So is he bringing the belt to Fight Island?
That I don't know.
Man, you got to get the Rock out
there.
That
was like a one and done, the BMF title.
That's hilarious. So there are reports out there that Colby Covington was possibly in the running to fight KAMARU if Jorge didn't work out. Is that true?
We were always talking to Masvidal. There was never a situation during, the negotiations, if you will, that we didn't think that Masvidal was going to take the fight.
Right. So at this point right now, I know that people were waiting for the COVID tests to clear and everybody to say that everyone was negative. Is that all done deal now? Everyone's in the clear, good to go?
Everybody's cleared and ready to go.
Just fighting Jorge himself, and you mentioned that some of the narrative that's already out there about this fight with the headlines, you've kind of piled onto that because you've said in the past that this guy ain't very good. He's not the guy that the media props him up to be, and now, like you mentioned, he is coming in on 6 days notice. If he beats you, whether you think that narrative is true or not, he did beat you on 6 days notice. Is this the most pressure you've ever felt going into a fight because of those reasons?
Oh man, there's this. Pressure is pressure. It doesn't matter where it comes from. And pressure is pressure. You get that same feeling. Look at the Covington fight. Nobody wants to lose to that guy. Think of the pressure that was leading up to that fight. Think of the pressures that are leading up to your first big title fight against the great Tyron Woodley.
Yeah.
Think of the pressures of going into a fight against the most dangerous submission specialist we've ever seen in the UFC. So pressure is pressure. There's always pressure. It's just how you deal with it. And like I said, on Sunday, I won't even remember any of it. Then I start thinking back, like, what happened? What? I don't even remember all the pressures or all the things that I had to do in order to get to that point. So pressure is just how I'm able to deal with it and overcome. That's going to be the telling point.
You know, one thing Jorge has said over the last 24 hours is that he said, if I run into him in the hallway, I can't say that I won't break his face. You know, that's how he characterizes his feelings towards you. And you guys have had some back and forth, but as of this moment, knowing that you're about to fly to Abu Dhabi to fight the guy, what are your feelings towards Jorge Masvidal?
I'm gonna be honest, be dead honest. You think if Jorge saw me in a hallway, you think he was gonna break my face?
Well, I will say that I think he added that he would not because he wouldn't get paid to do it, but that he would want to, right?
Okay, yeah. If we saw in the hallway, I guarantee you, he'd look down or look away and walk by. Same I would do. I would just walk by. One, because we both know there's a lot of money at stake here that we both need to make. There's a lot of money. And two, because like he has this narrative and everyone thinks that he's this gangster, he's this tough guy. You know, like we all know he's a fighter. He's gonna fight. He's put in a certain situation. Of course, he's gonna fight back. But he's not this animal that everybody thinks he is. You know, he's a regular freaking guy. You know, that if he saw me, he would walk by. I would walk by. Now, if we started exchanging words, situation got out of hand, of course, we would both be put in a situation where we would scrap. But don't let this guy fool you thinking that he would just run up and attack me. He ran up on me at Radio Row. You saw that. I was by myself, solo, just me. He came with his camera crews. He came with him, his cousin, his brother. He brought another dude with him. He brought several people. If you had a problem with somebody and you really wanted to do something, at first sight, it's on site. Mm-hmm. You make it happen. You get it popping, but he didn't do that. So it is what it is, man. I'm at this point, just similar to the Covington fight, I'm just tired of talking about it. I just want to get in there and compete.
Yeah. Well, all right, let's leave it with this then. Here's what he said. He was asked for a prediction of the fight. Okay. Here's what he said. His body grasping for air as I raise my hands over him, baptizing him for the world to see. So you tell us, what are we going to see on Saturday at UFC 251?
All I'm going to say is I'm going to bless him with these hands in any way possible. Whether he's on his back, I will bless him with these fists. Whether he's standing up, I will bless him with these fists. And so it's up to him how he's able to handle that. Whether he lets me bless him quickly in the first round and there's no more suffering, or he could take it like Covington and I'll bless him for 24 minutes until I get him out of it.
One last question for you, Kamaru, then we'll let you go. Which will be more satisfying, Colby Covington or Jorge Masvidal?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I think I would say Jorge Masvidal. I think right now in the world, he's the biggest, baddest challenge for me to have. Like, I don't dismiss him at all. I know this guy's tough. I know this is going to be if he's smart, he came out prepared for a dogfight. So I don't dismiss him at all. This is going to be the biggest, baddest dude that I've fought till date. And so, yes, of course, I would say being able to overcome this would be the most satisfying.